let's put one of the lies to rest at the time. I did not vote for the Iraq war.
You did. 2003.
I allowed you to speak. Let me please speak to it.
No, it's a lie.
I did not vote for it. I voted against it. As did every Glasgow MP except
You
one.
did it. 2003. You voted.
Okay, well, we can spout lies and make up stories if you want. If you don't believe me, I can give you an answer. I'm not asking you to believe me. All I'm asking you to let me give you an answer. If you don't want me to give you an answer, I'll sit down and not say anything. It's up to yourself.
Can you answer the one
if you just look up, no offence to you, but if you want answers, then you have to listen. Listen is part of communication. So if you stop and listen, and then you can say you're talking a lot of rubbish, then you can do that. But at least let me say something. And then you tell me I'm talking rubbish, which you've already decided I'm going to. And there's the real gentleman at the bottom there.
Okay, well, first of all, in the 0 hours contracts, I've already said that 1 in 3 children in Glasgow North West is born into poverty. I should maybe add to that 50% of them, 1 in 2 of those children, have a parent who is actually working in the household. And 0 hours contracts are a real limiter for the family, cause all sorts of difficulties. Obviously there are implications in terms of the benefits that they're able to claim if they're in these contracts, but there's also, other situations. They've got issues with workers' rights and things if they're on these contracts, so we need to fight against these. One of the things I would like to see is that companies who are awarding proper contracts and proper jobs to people are awarded recognition, and we publicly praise these companies so that it becomes something like a kite mark that people can see this is a positive employer. In terms of the Middle East, if I could say first of all, on the 18th of March 2003, John Robertson voted that the government should use all means necessary to ensure mass destruction, leading to the UK joining the US invasion of Iraq 2 days later.
Pants on fire.
What we are doing by our continual involvement in the Middle East is, first of all, we are propping up arms companies, both in the UK and in the US. We are projecting colonialism when we can hardly afford to feed people in our own country. We have some twisted view of democracy that we want to impose on other people, and what that is causing is pain, suffering and death in these countries. Scotland's a welcoming society, so rather than pumping our arms to these big dealers, or pumping money to the arms dealers, instead we should be opening our arms and saying, come here, we've got a place for you in our community. It may surprise you to know that I'm a military wife, and my husband's one of only 9 people in the UK ever to have test-fired a Trident missile. I'm against Trident. It's an indiscriminate and morally unjustifiable weapon system in the same way that biological and chemical weapon systems are. We have no place for it in a civilised society. The reason we have it is so that we have our expensive status symbol. It makes London feel important, and it gives them a seat, a permanent seat on the UN Security Council. When Russian submarines were spotted off our coast, not by our military, but by fishing boats, we to help out. We're a global power who cannot defend ourselves. This unrealistic concentration on Trident is leaving us wide open, it's leaving big gaps in our defence. There are no maritime patrol aircrafts and Nimrods left in Scotland. We have no major warships based in Scotland, and throughout Scotland we see military bases being closed or been reduced in terms of their staffing. We need to invest properly in our armed forces, in affordable, realistic armed forces that give us a proper defence. If Russia wanted to invade tomorrow, we would have two choices. We could either start nuking, or we could chase them with pitchforks, because that's what's left to us. We are sending troops to illegal wars who are poorly equipped. They are dying because we have this obsession with Trident. In terms of Trident being a peacekeeper, I don't see non-nuclear countries lying there terrified at night that somebody's going to invade. If we were threatened with invasion, we would use the same force everybody uses. We would use conventional weapons and not use nuclear. It's morally unjustifiable to spend 100 billion on a Trident system when there are people hungry in our community. In terms of SNP's biggest mistake, we didn't make Nicola Sturgeon First Minister years ago.
Again, it shows an appreciation